Well, on this, we can go to our correspondent, Molana-Allen in Beirut. Thanks very much for joining us, Layla. The president has just broken his silence on all of this. What did he have to say? And more importantly, I guess, what did he mean?
Absolutely, yes. So we haven't heard from President Molana-Allen. The people haven't heard from him for a week since these protests started. People have been saying, the silent president, where is he? Finally, just now, he spoke to the people here. He spoke around the country, broadcasted. And he started strong. He said, sectarianism and corruption have destroyed this country and I am going to fight it. But this is what all the politicians have been doing. They've all been blaming each other, saying other people are responsible for the problems. And he then started to say, we hear you, protesters. We hear what you're saying, but give us time. You have to let these new laws we're trying to enact come through. There was this reform package that was announced on Monday. We have to go ahead with that. And then things got a bit contradictory. He said, I promise that I will hold to account any politician who is corrupt, anyone who's responsible for siphoning money away from state funds. But he also said, protected himself, said, don't blame me. With all my power, I have been unable to stop these people. So unclear how he thinks that's going to change in the future. He then said something that really did not go down well here with the protesters. I heard an audible groan from people listening to him. He said, the regime cannot be toppled from the streets. It must be reformed by political means. Now, of course, all these people who've been out for a week and who have managed to close off the country say that's not true at all. And so the feeling here has been so far not really much in that speech at all. He closed that speech by really saying, we want dialogue. Come to us. We want to listen to you. I'm open to listening to you, but you must listen to us. You must stop blocking the roads. You must stop this economic crippling of what you've done to the country this week. He said freedom of speech and expression are really important and we will protect them for you, but you must protect people's freedom of movement. Now, of course, that's because there are huge business problems here throughout the week, but protesters saying the only way we can stop this is by crippling the country economically, so they listen to us.
So how do you think the street and the other politicians are likely to react from here, Layla?
Well, yes, I mean, it's only a few minutes ago that the speech happened, but really not much reaction to that speech at all. More people flooding into the protest now rather than leaving. Afterwards, at the end of President Allen's speech, they played the national anthem. Very few people sang along. That is quite striking. They then played it again themselves 5 minutes later, the protesters, and everyone sang along. I spoke to one young man who said, what is he even talking about? Another young man who said, this is nonsense. This is the same old, same old. They're all saying the same thing. We've had 3 years of promises from him and nothing has happened. What's different now? And one woman, because this is difficult for young people, they feel disenfranchised, they're annoyed at the government. But for older people who lived through that sectarian civil war and really felt that things were changing in this country, this is agonizing for them. One woman was sobbing and she said to me, how dare he? How dare he play the national anthem, our national anthem, after speaking to us like that? We gave our blood to this country through the Civil War. We gave them our blood, we gave them our children, and look at us now. Nothing has changed. They have promised everything to us and given us nothing. She pointed out the strong social life that we've been seeing in the streets, and that's always the case in Beirut. She said, people think the young people here are happy because they're always out drinking and partying. They're not. That's not joy. That's despair. It's because they're hopeless. They have nothing else to do. And every few years, the government gives us a morphine shot, a little bit of hope, one reform. This is just to lull us into silence because they don't want us to rise up. Finally, we're doing it, and this is not going away.
Molana-Allen in Beirut, thanks for joining us.